Okay, we're going to make our cityscape a little more complicated now, but we're going to start exactly the same way we did in the previous video with our vanishing point, our road, our sidewalk, the top of our sidewalk, the thickness of our sidewalk, and then putting in our first building. Okay, now I want to show you how to put in a doorway in which the door is set into the building. It's not on the surface of the building. Like there's a little walkway to get to the doors, like a little covering. And so what we're going to do is we're going to find the middle of the space first, and then I will show you how to hand kind of draw in the frame, and then we'll use the ruler to make it solid. All right, the first thing we want to do is to find the middle of this space. And how we find the middle of a side of a building going away from us is we draw an X from opposite corners. So we create an X by drawing opposite corners. We're drawing a line. Where the two lines cross each other, that is the middle of the building. It's the middle of the building vertically and the middle of the building horizontally if we lined it up with the vanishing point. And this is how we're going to determine where the doorway needs to go. So we're not actually going to be able to see the doorway. This is a little frame for the doorway, and then we're going to we're going to use this to also put in some windows later. This is a lot easier to do with graph paper. I keep erasing because it's not straight. It doesn't look quite vertical. It looks a little off. All right. Actually, I probably should not have drawn that dark because I'm going to need to erase it later. That's just kind of a little indicator line. Okay, I just want to know where the middle is. And something that we will learn in perspective is things that are closer to us appear bigger than things far away. For example, this side of the building. This side of the building is the same length as the rectangle side of the building, but as it goes away from us, it appears to get smaller, so it's no longer the same length. Okay, but if we were standing facing the building, it would be the same on both sides. Okay, so how we show that in drawing is the frame of the door is going to appear bigger where it is closer to us and appear smaller where it is further away. And so what I want to do is I'm going to very lightly hand draw in the frame of the door, and I want to make sure that the length here is longer than the length here. And I'm just going to hand draw that in. I want this building to be about 3 levels, so I want to make sure that the top of this little door opening stays below that 1/3 mark. So if I were to divide this into 3 equal parts, about 3 equal parts, I want to make sure that the door frame stays below that for that level. All right, so now I can go in. I'm happy with the way that this looks. This looks about right. This is smaller. It is further away. This side is a little bit wider because it's closer. And now I'm ready to go in with my vertical lines. Make sure you're using nearby edges to keep your ruler parallel. And then I'm going to use this line to draw to the vanishing point, which means I'm going to have to make this one a little bit longer so that they meet up. All right, So now I have my door opening, but I want to show how this is an entryway into the door, and the door is further inset inside the building. And so what I need to do is I'm going to erase the bottom of the building because this is an opening. And I'm going to take this acute angle here. So anytime we see acute angles or obtuse angles, we know that we need to do something there. So this is an acute angle, and it's going to need a horizontal line because our only options are vertical to the vanishing point or horizontal, and the only line we haven't used yet in this space is a horizontal line, so that's our only option. Make sure your ruler is parallel to nearby lines, or use graph paper. So we have a couple of options. We could make the entryway completely go into the building, almost like a parking garage, like where you would drive into, and we could take this out and make this a driveway that goes in. Or we can shorten this, turn this into a rectangle, and then show how this is so I'm lining this up with the outside corner, the floor, where the floor meets the street, and then I'm drawing a horizontal line inside that opening to show how this is now open, how we can see inside the doorway. And from this corner right here, I can draw a line to the vanishing point, and then I could show that this is glass right here.